Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Ketvach Shvatov. We are learning Mishna Yeshkalim, Parakeh, Chapter 5, Mishna Dala, Mishnah 4. Mishum Avakish Nesachim. Someone who needed Nesachim. Nesachim, you bring a carbon, and along with the animal carbon has to come a mincha, a meal offering of flour and oil, and wine for pouring, for libation. So the person who needs these things, he would go to Yochanan, because he was appointed over the tokens. We've been learning this before. And now we're going through the process of a person who actually wants to get those things that he needs for Nesachim. So if he needs Nesachim, he goes to Yochanan, who is in charge of the tokens. Now, as we mentioned before, these things that we're talking about, the wine, the oil, the flour, these things are going to be going on the Mizbeach, on the altar, offered on the altar. And therefore they need special safeguards to make sure that they are going to remain pure so that they can be offered on the altar. Now, if you can take care of if you can take care of that yourself, if you can take care of all the safeguards and get hold of all these ingredients in a way that they are for sure tahar, then by all means, you can do it yourself. But for somebody who can't, these supplies were available in the Beis HaMikdash, as we learned previously. The Beis HaMikdash had these supplies. They had the special suppliers, and they made sure that everything was done with all the safeguards needed to make sure they remain pure to be able to be offered on the altar. Okay, so this is a person who needs Nesachim. He doesn't have his own. He needs to buy it from the Beis HaMikdash. So he goes to Yochanan, who's in charge of the tokens. Nois and leimois, he gives him the money, right? He gives him the value, how much he charges him for the value of these ingredients. And then Yochanan gives this person a token, which really said was a piece of paper. And depending on what he needed, that was the word that appeared on the piece of paper with Yochanan's seal, and that's what he received. Now that he has his token, he's going to go get those actual ingredients. Now he goes to Achia, who was in charge of giving the nesachim, he had those ingredients to give people. The person who purchased them now gives Achia the token, and then he receives the nesachim. He receives the flour, the oil, the wine, and now he proceeds to go and actually offer his carbon. But he has now received the supplies that he needs. So that's the process. You're a person who needs these supplies. You go over first to Yochanan, who gives you the token. You then present your token to Achia, and you get the things that you need. Now, the Mishnah continues, V'lo erev, and in the evening, meaning at the end of the day, Bayin zeh etzel zeh. Yochanan and Achia met each other. Every day, meaning after all the karbanos, after everything was done, they met each other. They made an accounting with each other. Achia presents the tokens that he received for that day. He shows them to Yochanan. And now Yochanan, and then he receives money corresponding to them. Meaning, he gave out X amount of supplies. He now needs to replenish those supplies. So Yochanan was the one who got the money from the people. And now Achia is going to show him the tokens. And according to how much tokens and how much, the value of the tokens were, what the tokens were to be supplied, he's now going to get back money to be able to replenish what he gave out. Okay, that's the daily meeting. The daily meeting is you make an accounting. He shows you the tokens. He sees how much was given out. He gives you money to replenish that so that now Achia can go get more. Now, Vim Hayisiru, what happens if at the end of the day there's extra money? Extra money. Okay. Hayisiru lehekdash. The extra belongs to the Beis HaMikdash. Vim Pachasu, and if let's say it comes out less, Hayamishalem Yechan Mibeisai. Yochanan, who was in charge of the money, originally when it was given, he's got to take it out. He's got to make it up from his own pocket. Shad hektish al yaina, for the hektish always has the upper hand. Now, in the case of the extra, right? There's extra money. Where'd it come from? Two possibilities. One possibility is that somebody decided to give more than they had to as a donation to the Beis HaMikdash. The other possibility is that Yochanan's personal money got mixed in. So what do we say? No, Yochanan, it's not your money. This must have been money that somebody donated, extra money. This was extra. Somebody gave extra more than he needed to pay as a donation to the Beis HaMikdash. And what's going to be happening with that money? Well, the same way that the monies were given for purchasing the wine and the oil and the flour that's going to go on the mizbeach, that's going to be sacrificed on the altar. So too, this extra money is going to be used for what we called for what we referred to for as the kitzah mizbeach. That when the mizbeach wasn't so busy, they made sure to bring sacrifices so that the mizbeach should always be being in operation. There was a special fund for that, and that's where these monies went to. Now, you got the other case. There's not enough. There's less money. So what happened there? So apparently, what happened there was that either Yochanan lost some of the money that was in his charge, he lost some of it, or he didn't receive enough money for the token. You know, the guy gave less than he was supposed to. Yochanan didn't catch that, and that's where less money than there should be. Well, either way, it means that Yochanan didn't do his job. And therefore, he has to now make it up from his own pocket. At the end of the day, it's always the upper hand is always goes to the Beis HaMikdash. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.